friends. So we shall start shortly. I'll just introduce our dear friend Katerina from Ukraine, and then we'll start the talk and then discussion. So Katerina, like some of us know already, Katerina has been extremely active in democratic education, and she is an alternative education activist from Vinnytsia, Ukraine, graduated the very first alternative school in Ukraine, Stork Family School. She has been actively engaged in co-organizing local educational events like Educational Experiment 2018, co-organized IDEC-EUDEC 2019 in Ukraine, and she is also a co-founder of democratic school called as One Crazy School.
Really great.
Yeah, and now she is actively engaged in organizing the event in England about the Summerhill's completion of 100 years, Summerhill Festival of Childhood 2021. So today amongst us, she is here to talk about our own little free school, to be or not to be. In that talk, she says what main bonuses we get from building alternative education community in our area. What are she questions? Dark side of idea to start your own school. What are the dark sides of idea to start your own school, and what difficulties we have to face and how to deal with it? She will also address a question on how to organize local educational events without burning out, and why we never say that we have built our school for kids. Let's welcome her and let's enjoy the session. Thank you very much.
Hi, hello everybody. Well, thank you very much, Veda, for saying these words about me. I'll tell a little shortly my story. Why should you think what you should listen to this crazy lady? What she knows about democratic education, actually? I'm actually the product of alternative education. I've graduated. I've never went to a normal school. My school, I can't say that it was totally democratic school, but it was a community of people with no fears to each other. Like kids were very friendly to adults, and adults were very friendly to kids. We used to have a lot of fun activities, and our teachers were very, very, very democratic, and they are still our friends. And when I entered the university, I came back home, and some of the times I first went from train station to my teachers and then to my parents. So and this gave me huge, the platform to be happy, because I knew that somewhere in Vinnytsia, in my hometown, there are lots of people who love me, who trust me, who believe in me. And that was much more than knowing how to solve mathematics tasks. Actually, I do solve mathematics tasks. I am now a mathematics teacher in my school. So if you believe in yourself, if you have this background that says you can do everything, whatever you wish to do, you are able to do everything. And that gives you a huge power. And when I told other kids and students in university about my school, they looked at me like I attended Hogwarts, for example. So, and it also gave me a lot of inspiration. So you can take a look at that alternative education product. Maybe not the best one for sure, but the one. Okay, and then my kid was born, and I started to think about it as a mom. And I went, it was the biggest mistake ever. I went to Democratic Education Conference, IDEC 2017, to Hadera, Israel. And when I came back, I realized that I can't leave knowing so much things about democratic education, believing in it so hard and not doing anything with it. I have to do something. If I don't have democratic school in my area, I have to found one. I have to create one. So never attend IDEX. It will change your life forever. um, and since then, I'm involved in democratic education, like to here or even here, this level. I was co-organizing of IDEC, and I met a lot of people, but I'll tell about it a little later. So I'll have 3 blocks of my talk. First, about schools. I don't know what you want to be first, inspired or scared? Both? Okay, then probably we'll start with inspiration, and we'll save the scary stuff to the second part. Then I'll tell you about organizing events and how to save a little energy in this process, because when I first was involved in organizing big event, then 2 weeks after this I was lying down without any energy and like this. And Veda smiles too much. No, probably knows what I'm talking about. And on IDEC, it was better. And then we made this year, we've made a festival, online festival for mostly local participants. And we have 45,000 of visitors. And it was so much easier than to make it offline for half of thousand. And I'll tell about it also. But first, about school. So we, with our friends, decided to start our little, very small democratic school. We have First, we learned all the experience. We heard a lot of IDEC talks. We attended 2 IDECs. We organized one. So we knew a lot about experience from other people, how they do it. But it wasn't enough for sure. And we started to gather a team of our school. Mostly it was parents, no teachers, not professional teachers. Our first teacher we hired this year. So 3 years it was without teachers, only parents and kids. And we visited all the mostly democratic schools in Ukraine that we could. We talked to other founders of the schools. We did all this process, and still our school is probably one big mistake. We have a lot of issues, and I think this is the dark side. So let's begin with inspiration. What for to start a democratic school? I never say that I start the school for my kids, because it's terrible, when you say the next step will be, I have started this school for you, and you don't do something, or you do something that I don't want to. So this schema never works. I started it for myself. It's truth. Just a simple truth that we all do everything just for ourselves. A very selfish position helps. So if you think to start a school or not to start, be very selfish. Think about yourself, what you will do there, what this school will bring into your life, not to your kids. And be ready that sometimes they will say, we don't want to go to your school. We want to go to another one. And you will say, what? And be ready that to give them an opportunity to choose their own way. Even if you have a beautiful school, they can choose another one. They can choose to be homeschoolers. They can choose to be unschoolers, or to go to a very strict regular school, and you'll be surprised. So think about yourself. And what I got from my school, first of all, it's a community. Today I'll try to say the truth. That is hard, but I will. And I'll have a terrible reputation after it, but I will. So um, you know I always thought of myself as a um, very interesting and fun person. And I thought I'll be a very cool mom. And when I became a mom, I found out that my husband is very cool dad, and I'm very annoying mom. I always want everything to be ordered. Oh my God, I haven't expected it. And also, I found out that I have fun spending time with adults. if I have a choice to spend time with adults or with kids, I always prefer adults. And I founded my own democratic school. Am I stupid? Yes, I am. But um, the surprise was after, well, first half a year, it was really hard because um, interacting with my own kids was much more easier than interacting with other kids. And after half a year, I felt that these kids are very close to me. I love them. It was a surprise. I never expected it. So, and I do care about them. I know a lot about each kid. We have 20 kids now, and um, I really respect and love these people. And they are kids. That's strange to me because I thought always that I love adults more. So, if you are ready to um, let some kids and some adults go into your life, touch your heart, and stay with you. Sometimes they will make you mad. Sometimes they will make you very angry. But all of these times, you will love them. And this community is the biggest bonus I've got from this democratic school. The other bonus is it sounds very simple, but it's huge. Uh, I had a job interview with a very good salary. I was offered, and a lady, and I said no to it because they wanted me for 5 days per week, and I couldn't arrange it. I said I have school, I have to spend some time there, I have kids, I have alternative projects, I'm volunteer. And the lady who interviewed me answered me, at least you are going to have what to say to God when time comes. Uh, and she's right. That's why we start projects in alternative education, because it's something good we are doing. It's something meaningful. And it sounds so simple that I am doing a good thing, but it's very hard to find. A lot of people, I can see a lot of my friends who graduated great universities, they have wonderful jobs, and they feel unhappy because they can't find um, something in their life. They donate time to something they do not respect deep inside, and it's very hard not to accept, not to um, feel good about a school. So school, it's safe play, play safe option. If you want to do something good, try school. um, Second, next one is, it's kind of laboratory for yourself. I've grown up in a free school, but it was post-Soviet times, and we all was. I've grown up in Soviet Union actually. It was a very strict system, and you never think what is good for you. You think what is good for society, what is good for family, what is good for everybody, but not you. And when I grow up, it was pretty hard to find something that I really love. So how school helps to do it for adults, not for kids. Kids, easy, for kids it's easier probably. For adults, when I come to my school with a thought in my head, I will do with kids something very something what they need. They need it because they have to pass exams. They need it because they have to deal with adult life. I'll give it to them because they need it. And it's a democratic school. They have a right not to join me. They never join me when I offer them something that I don't like myself. So it's a very good marker. Try different activities. And when people join you, you can mark, I love to do this. Because when you're doing something you love, people always join you. That's a rule of democratic school. So if you want to find out what you really like to do, go to democratic school and offer them your time as a volunteer. Say, I'll donate my time and I'll try different activities. And in 2 months, you will definitely know what you like to do and what you don't like to do. Um, so self-discovery laboratory is my third point. Um, and the last one, probably, it's not all the bonuses, not all the sweet things you get from democratic school, but for me, it's the main one. And it is my experience. It's what I came with today to you. So uh, the last one in my top five is it's never too late to have a happy childhood. I had one, but now I'm having another one. I'm going to trips, I'm painting, even walls. I play a lot. And you know, my parents, they used to have theirs childhood with us, and now they are having a third one. That's a cheaters. They are having their third happy childhood. They write scripts for plays. They write books with us. They go to the boat, sailing boats, and well, they join our activities a lot. There are a couple families that can't go to our school because they are too worried. Because mm, in our country, kids wherever they learn, they have to pass exams every year, and it makes all parents so scary, and me too, actually. I just believe in my kids very strongly. That's why I'm not scared, and they are so smart. So but I'm scared anyway when I see somebody going to some physical or physics mathematics special school. I go, it's panic monster running around my head saying, oh my god, you have so smart kids and they're not studying. You're a very bad mom. uh, and I live with this monster for 4 years. I'm a hero. So um, what I wanted to say is, these 4 years, we all our family, my husband, me, my kids, my parents, we all have happy childhood for 4 years. It's huge happiness. It's a very big piece of pie. So this is good about democratic schools. I'll summarize it somehow. So first of all, it's community and different activities with this community. Second is that you are doing something serious, something good. Third one is that it is self-discover laboratory. And the last one is that it's never too late to have a happy childhood. You can have another happy childhood when you join a democratic school. And now the dark side. Get scared now or never. Okay, so the dark side is uh, it never will be perfect. When you go to some other school or when you homeschool your kids, you think, well, it's good, but one, two, three, four things that you don't like about it. I'll build my own school and it will be perfect. Good, bad news, it won't be. In and even more, in when you started your own school, you are inside of it. From outside, you can see one, two, three, four bad things about the school, and when you are inside, you will see 10 every day. You know, what I practice probably pretty often. I'm I find time to look through the pictures, photos or videos from our school. I look at it and think, wow, that's pure happiness. This is so cool. And when I'm inside of the process, well, this kid is bored. This kid or this parent is unhappy. I have to do something with it. It's not perfect. Something goes wrong. I have to do something. So you see all the imperfectness of your school when you're inside. And other people, when they come to our school, they say, wow, this is so cool. So be ready. If you start your own project, it will never be perfect. You will see. Uh, so if you have a very nice project nearby, made by other people, and you can join it or not join it, don't think that your project will be much better. It also will have its imperfectness. This is the first dark side. And the second dark side is that parents and kids, and actually all families, each family is a universe. When we started our school, we thought about what parents needs, what kids needs, what families needs. And it was very silly because you can't say, yeah, I was a physicist, I was a scientist for a couple of years. So we had a joke: when you can't solve the tasks in physics, when you can't solve the task about horse running because it's very complicated form and the wind's blowing and everything, and you have to count it all, just imagine a um, ball shaped horse in vacuum and solve this problem. So when you are trying to think what parents needs or what families needs, it's a ball shaped horse in vacuum, because each horse is different. Each family is so much different. And first, probably half a year or maybe a little bit more, we tried to um, answer all the, not questions, but when people, all the needs. One mom came and said, we need other food, different kind of food in school. We said, okay, we have to change everything. We have to change food. Then other mom came and said, we need more mathematics lessons because mathematics is very important. We said, yes, we will arrange more mathematics lessons. The other mom came, said, too many mathematics lessons. And then we found out, oh, this is something we can't deal with. You can't create too flexible system. You can create a wonderful product with some freedom inside and offer people to live in this space how they need. If they need more mathematics, not a problem. You can interact with other kids, asking them to help you with mathematics. You can interact with books, you can interact with Google, you can interact with online schools. You have computers, you have books, you have people here, you have time, you have everything you need to arrange mathematics lessons. So you can't offer everything to everybody. Just offer a product. You can eat it or not. And we are fine if somebody says, well, it's not what we wanted. We can help. We have everything to let you do what you need here, but we can't do it ourselves, all that you need. So this is the second dark side. All the parents, and the tricky thing that you can't think what family wants, because here is what kid want and here is what parent want, and mostly it's like this, and you're lucky when it's like this, a little bit covered. So we go to what kids need, and they need freedom, they need interactions, they need free play, and they get it in our school. And even for me, I've spent 4 years in this school. Every time when they, last week they've spent like 4 hours building some house from boards and rocks in the yard. And all these 4 hours, I was beating myself to the hands not to touch them. I want to do some activity with them. Katya, don't touch them. They are doing something serious. They are doing something interesting. They are doing something very special. And they are so passionate about it. Stop touching them. And it still needs a lot of concentration from me not to interrupt them. And it's surprisingly hard. So get ready to face it. Um, and the other one I call soup rule. This soup rule is about saving balance in your family. When you're involved to some school system, you are passionate about it for sure. Otherwise, you will stop being involved in it in a couple months, believe me. So if you are passionate about it, it's always very important to you. And this soup rule, I called it this way when I was a kid because my mom was involved in democratic school. Just imagine, it was 30 years ago. Soviet just broken. It was first year of independent Ukraine. And our parents came to the government with the papers, and government, they were so scared of what is going to happen next, so they signed it not even reading. And after like 5 or 7 years, they found out that they have alternative school in Vinnytsia. Oh my God, we are not controlling it. So first 5 years were very happy. Where government didn't remember that they have signed the papers. But imagine how hard it is to make an alternative school in such conditions. So my mom and other parents who started that school, they were absolutely busy 24 hours a day. And the soup rule is that it's when you need to cook a soup for your family and you need to solve problems in school, soup never wins. Never. Imagine that water is broken and you have to run and fix it because it's water in your school and you need to cook a soup. Soup have no chances. Or some family wants to take a kid out of the school and they want to bring this kid to a regular school, to strict one, and this kid is just started healing from traumas from other school, and you want to save this kid. Soup never wins. Soup has no chances. So I was a kid knowing this soup rule, and I have uh, I can't say anything bad to my mom, like, you never spent time with us. She used to spend time with us in school, and she built a marvelous school for us. And we were so happy there. And our dad were involved in it. But for example, my older sister says, I would prefer soup. And it's tricky. And now my kids um, definitely prepare soup prefer soup some of the times, and I'm trying to keep balance, and it's hard. Sometimes I have to say, well, water is broken, none of my problem, we'll fix it tomorrow, I have to cook soup. So get ready to keep this balance, get ready to to stay in the middle of these challenges, family challenge and school challenge. Okay, this is a soup rule, and the other I call neighbor's garden. I don't know if there is an international saying about it, but in Ukraine we say that in neighbor's garden the grass is always greener. Maybe it's international. Yeah, really? Yeah, okay. So that's about this panic monster who runs in your head. And it's not only about my neighbor's kids who always know something that my kids don't and do something that my kids don't do. It's about schools also. First year we did this mistake. We watched all the Facebook pages of other schools. We were so inspired. Oh, they do clay lessons, let's do clay lessons. They do theater, we have to do theater. They do music, let's do music. And we ended up with like so many activities that we were only tired. We couldn't stay in a moment and be happy about what we have. We had too much, and it happened very fast. In half a year, it because we were very passionate and very active, two active ladies, oh my God. So get ready to say, they did a great job. Clay lessons, go on guys, we won't have clay lessons here. And it's not easy to skip something, to say no to some great activities. Now we have yoga, we have clay lessons, music, we have like 14 different activities, and that time we have like 25, and it was terrible. And we have found our balance, and it took us a year. So don't do our mistakes. Stop when you feel that it is too much. And the last issue is money. It's always tricky. I had very diverse working experience. I worked in science, I worked in commerce, I worked in consulting, I worked in, well, lots of different things. I had my own business, and it's all, if I made a list how to earn money, school would be the last line, last one. Comparing how many time you donate, how many forces, how many inspiration and your soul you have to give to this, and how much money you earn from it, it's the last line. So now I'm having a job for money for 3 days, and I'm having a school for other 3, and one family day where no school, no work for money, nothing. And actually I'm doing Summerhill Festival of Childhood, and it's between work for money and the school. But it's actually, I'm not the first one. I've already met some other people who found this way to balance. It's not that complicated to find work for 3 days. It was a surprise for me. I always thought that nobody wants a worker who works 3 days. Well, somebody wants. So it's a good way to keep a balance. That's it about schools. Maybe we will discuss it, because I think it's you're tired listening to me. So if you want to ask any questions, please welcome, and then we'll proceed to events part. So unmute your microphones and ask me something. Or let's just discuss. It could be not a question, but something you want to say. Yes, Christine, please. I see you're unmuting.
Yes, well, I think you're very brave doing that. And having worked, as Cecilia has, in an alternative school here, I understand very well that balance that you have to make between work. I mean, the school was very well set up, so we were paid and so on. But that balance to let children just be free to and not interfere is very difficult for an adult, because you actually want to be in there playing as well, but the tendency is to take over. And then the tendency is this with your building, oh, look at the mathematics there, and look at this, and you want to teach, and it's just so bloody hard. So I think I understand very well when you talk about the dark side. I think that is the tricky thing. And I know in our school there was a lot of conflicts with parents, and then changing in demographics in our area, and also changing government regulations, which impinges on us, and that caused a lot of conflict. And we really personally had to work very hard to work out what was going on for ourselves, the power struggle within us. This is our school, how dare you, to sitting down and listening and finding a place to do that. I think most of the time we were able to do that, and other times it became very destructive. So I don't know whether you're at the point. Our school is much bigger than 20 students, so I don't know whether you found that place where you've actually had to put in some agreements with parents about how you solve issues. We had to actually formulate a policy. Do you have that sort of thing in place for your school?
I hope I understand correctly, because my English is very far from perfect. But
Australians always talk too fast. Well, I talk too fast.
It's fine. I also talk too fast, even though I don't know how to do it, but I do talk too fast. So the question is, where are these points? How we deal with parents and telling them
how you manage that,
and down how we are going to interact. This year we've created the paper first time, because we met some difficulties, and the paper was divided into 2 parts, said included, not included. And in not included part, there were all school program. Sorry guys, it's not included. We can't guarantee that your kid will get all the school program in perfect way in our school. If you go to our school, you take the responsibility to yourself. The other thing that wasn't included is we don't force kids to attend anything, any activities. And also we don't dance. Come on, this is very interesting mathematics. Come on, we don't do this. Sorry. We just do nice lessons, and they can join it or not. And mostly the kids who are in our school for a long time, they mostly attend everything. And kids who came from regular schools, they are trying not to attend anything. They are so happy, stayed untouched. And interrupted. And sometimes it's a couple months and sometimes it's half a year. And we are happy to see parents who are ready to wait. And not all of them are. And well, we can only explain them. And when we say, you know why the parents, what I understood from talking with all our parents a lot is like the biggest thing that moves them is fear. And it's absolutely normal. When you are in fear, you feel unsafe and you do everything to feel safe. So I tell them, look, guys, what do you fear more? What is more scary? That your kid won't know some school program, or that your kid won't ask questions, will be just waiting for orders? What is more scary picture for you? And a lot of other examples from this side and that side. And also I say them, mostly I say, if you have to choose one word, like I want my kid to be healthy, to earn money, to have a lot of friends, to have nice family, to have nice home. If you have to choose only one word, what would you choose? And in the end, it's always, I want my kid to be happy. So why you want your kid to be happy somewhere there? Why not now? Why this time costs less than that time? You know that it's not easy to be happy when you're adult. Really, it's not easy. And it is easy to be happy when you're a kid. And a psychologist goes with huge banners like, have a happy childhood, please, then you'll be happy adult. And we never believe them. So and they say, yes, I'm sure, I agree, but please teach my kid mathematics. Okay, Andrea, you want to ask something? Please do.
I wanted to add something. I was part of a group that started the school back in Romania, a bit south of Ukraine. And what we did was we told the parents from the very first meeting, look, it could be that your child doesn't learn math for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Can you handle that? It can be that your own mother, so the grandparent of the children, will still be upset with you after 1, 2, or 3 years and say, this is not the proper school, your child isn't learning anything. Can you handle that? Or are you open to figure a way out to handle that? And funny enough, after one year, one mother really said to me, she was like, you know, Andrea, my mother is still thinking this is not a good school. And, you know, I remember the talk we had at the beginning, so like the registration talk or something. And she said it was really helpful. So I think that, yes, clear boundaries and maybe also confronting the parents with like a worst case scenario for them, let's say, or the most unusual scenario is helpful. And yeah, Christine, maybe you just want to try to define for you what you can support or and what not. Like I think like I don't want, like you said, I don't want to motivate children to learn. This is not something I do. I don't identify with that, so it's not discussable. For us, it was the same. So I think every school needs to decide. We can talk about these topics, and we cannot talk about these topics. Those are what makes our school, and there is not negotiable. And it was very hard for us to say this is not negotiable. But it was so good after we did it, because it was for us like, yeah, this is us and this is what we do. And it was safe for us also and true to us.
That's what we have started this year from, with this included and not included. And it was very clear because it has a big red line in the middle. And, you know, also we did this, we asked parents to write in one big paper what they think is very, I don't remember, I don't know the word for it in English, but what they care about in this school, what is very special and very important for them in this school. And another piece of paper, and we have written in the middle of it, we will save it, we will do more of it. And other, what is hard to handle. And in the middle, we have written, not that we will fix it, but that we will support each other to handle it. And we started a parents club. Each 2 weeks, we spent time in parents club. We watch movies about democratic education and discuss it. We used to have, we asked psychologist, and she's great to work with us, to work with our fears, with our, you know, what we are waiting our kids to become, with all this stuff. And there was a funny thing. When one of the activities was, she was asking very quick questions, and we had to answer very quickly about our kids. And one of the questions was, my kid is talented enough to, and you have to finish this sentence very fast. And 5 of our parents, including me and my co-founder of the school, my friend Dasha, we just put big letters, one word, everything. My kid is talented enough to do everything. Whatever she wants. I don't know if everything is correct word, but it's just, yes. So we do work with parents, but still we feel, even I do feel this kind of, when, if somebody asks me, can you handle, Katya, that your kid won't study anything in next 5 years? I would lie. Yes, I am. But it will be a lie. For sure, I can't. No, well, maybe. I haven't tried.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be very clear about what you are offering so that you don't get into that trap of having a whole lot of parents coming to you and saying, you know, this is not working. So yes, you have to be very, you have to be very clear, and that's what we've done. Yeah.
What we are doing, we are trying to scare parents not to come to our school. From the beginning, we scare them a lot, and those who come, they don't afraid of anything. Sorry, Christine.
Well, yeah, one of the things we did with the parents that come in right at the beginning of the school, which is when the children are 3 and 4, is actually when we had a parent meeting at the beginning, is get them to do exactly that. So what are they, you know, what are their fears about coming to the school, which is very different from the 2 schools which are up the road, one a Catholic school, one a state school, and, you know, what do they want? And the interesting thing is then when you have the next meeting with the parents and say, oh, you know, look, this is what you've written, and would these be different? And almost without a doubt, they all say yes. So they write a different thing. So as they go along with their journey, they say, oh, look how we've changed, how they as adults have changed, and what we want. And you go, yeah, isn't that interesting? Knowing that's what you hope, that because then they'll stay with you. Anyway, that's something that we decided to do with the children coming in that are very.
Christine, you're frozen. Thomas also wanted to say something, and Christine probably has the troubles with connection. Thomas?
It's so good to listen to you.
Just a second. Christine is back. Christine,
sorry. No, I finished. Yeah, no, thank you. I finished. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Sorry, Thomas. I'll just a second answering Christine that I totally agree that adults changing a lot, and my school changed me definitely very much, because I was the one from, you know, business paradigm, and now I actually think I'm not. Okay, thank you, Christine. Thomas, we're listening to you.
I've got an echo on my side. Can anybody else hear it? Do I sound okay?
Sounds okay.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay, so I'll have the fun of ignoring myself echoing. Katerina, it is so good to hear you stand and deliver. And it's so entertaining. It's infectious, right? And it's so perfect. You use the word imperfect pretty often, and that's perfect. 15 years ago, I was blessed, so lucky to be a staff person at a local Sudbury model school. And that was in the afternoons. I was paid. And in the mornings, I was a traditional teacher. Both schools had 20 students, mixed ages. So every day I got to see the big difference between traditional classroom interactions and in the afternoon at the Sudbury, just watching the young people have big adventures in life every day. So it's just powerful. And it's so good to hear you talk now, because I'm at a point in life where you first started talking here is I was doing nothing. As big of an advocate I am for freedom and democracy in schools, I'm doing nothing. However, this is my first IDEC, and I am getting so much just by rubbing elbows with everybody here. I'm being motivated. I'm being just reminded that this, as you said, Katerina, this is where the rewards of life are to be found. So I just want you to know what you're delivering is so important to me, and to hear you and to celebrate the blessings of your life, to have grown up with the results of your parents' efforts to give you the gift, right? To not be harmed by traditional schooling, right? And then for you to be given back like this, I'm very glad at 3 a.m. that I chose to be at this session from here in California, or Arizona rather. So keep going. I'm listening.
Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to hear. I loved the impression that young people having adventures every day, and that's true. You know, when one of the meetings of graduates from my school, we did a quick questions with our class, well, people from our class, and older and younger graduates, and I offered them to mark 3 things they love and remember from school time. And the interesting thing was mostly all of us answered 2 of 3 teachers and hiking, you know, with the backpack. And it was so bright. You know, it was post-Soviet time, and our school was very, we had big troubles with money, not only school, families also. And I remember we were growing potatoes on our near our house to bring it to school, because there was nothing to eat and we couldn't go to some big trips on a planes or something. But we could take our backpacks and go near the river for a couple of days. And it was such a bright, marvelous experience. And I don't know how, but our parents collected money to let us attend other schools, spend some of the times in Kiev, another school in Moscow, and we went by bus or by train like 24 hours. We were very, very cheap tickets, but we then spent 2 weeks in other school. It was huge adventures. And this is something that makes my childhood very happy. And I wanted to give it to my kids. And I remember how they did it. You know, you have to be very, very creative when you don't have money. So they did like this. My English teacher is a separate story. Is a absolutely marvelous, amazing person. He's my godfather. When I came to him, we are Orthodox, Christian Orthodox. So, and when I came to him and asked him to be my godfather, I was in 3rd grade, and he said, I never heard anything of any other Orthodox people saying something like this. He said, okay, girl, you are like 8 years old, but I'm going to tell you that there are different religions. You have to choose smart. You have to find out what you need. I was like this, really? Well, actually, he is my godfather. And what he did on lessons, he took us kids, he let us sit in a closet with glass doors and say, this is, there was no Skype meetings. It called telebridge. We called it like this. It's a telebridge with Australian people, for example. So I am an Australian person and you're talking to me. talk to me, ask me something. And we were sitting in a closet with glass doors, you know, or he spent half of the lesson like this. He said, I'm going to come and you should hide wherever you want, and I'll look for you. And we were hiding, and he was entering the room and say, where is this Katya? Maybe she's under the table. And I was near the window. I was so scared that he's going to find me. And you know, this emotionally keeps me remember this under the table construction. So it was great English lessons. This is just or our teacher in well, she had to teach us how to write letters, but instead of it, she came out with us and say, today we are going to look at this flower and catch the inspiration from it. All the lesson, you know, like say talking about it, drawing it, whoever wants to do about it, look for some other words to describe it, some bright words. These were the adventures, and I still remember it. It was, wow, 30 years ago. I still remember it. This probably will inspire a lot of teachers in democratic school. When 38 years old lady remembers all these bright details, so it's worth to bring it to kids. And when we did something by ourselves, it also was very bright. Not only teachers' work, but our interactions. We do remember it. And mainly, if we don't remember, we still have this happy childhood, the ground we are standing on. And a lots of people, a lots of adults around our parents told them, your kids are not prepared to the real life. They will be, you know, smashed by this life. Whatever, just in the moment they came into real life, they will be, their psychology will be ruined. It's absolutely opposite. You can't be ruined when you have such strong construction inside, when you believe in yourself so strongly. You can't be ruined by any adult life. Well, at first time it was kind of disappointing and surprising that not all the people think what care about me. It was surprise. When 10 years long everybody are interested in what have you eaten something, or what are you wearing, and are you feeling good in it, and what book you have read. When you're starting to tell somebody, they are listening to you. And in adult life it's not like this. And you, not very good. But then you start to understand how huge present you got from your school in the beginning. So a gift, you know. And now let's proceed to events. This is also a very interesting topic because, you know, some of you for sure have organized big educational events. And if somebody asks you, what for to organize big educational events? You will say, to share information, to share experience, to find out some methods, to discuss common problems. You know, when you're a speaker, you can do it. When you're a participant, you can do it. When you're an organizer, you can't. You don't catch anything. Sorry, it's true. You don't have just, you are so tired that you can't, you know, take part in discussions. All you have is you watch these people and you see this happiness. And you say, wow, this is because of me. I did it. Veda, this is because of you. Thank you. And when you're an organizer, you won't attend sessions. Nope. Only those that you facilitate. And when I was on IDEC, I was from 6 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock at deep night. I was in a registration point, just answering all the questions, helping people, doing something. I was busy all time long, but I was so much happy. And it gives me inspiration for all year long. And that's why we organize big educational events. We definitely should participate some and organize other events. You don't count on, I will organize it and participate it. It won't happen. So some practical advices. First is about open space. Everybody knows how it works. When you do not do a lot of sessions in a program, you don't deal with a lot of speakers, you just leave a lot of area, a lot of locations and time for open space. When we did it first time, I watched it in Israel on IDEC, and I was so surprised that there was 8 simultaneous activities for 5 days, and it was brilliant. And participants did it by their own. They just took papers and put it on the walls, and they did great activities. They are great speakers because they all are passionate about what they are talking and or doing. They're doing very different things, some workshops, some yoga, some sports, some dancing, theater, whatever they want, whatever they love. And when people do what they love, it's brilliant. So if you decide to organize event, just trust people that you are asking to come. You can't do totally open space probably, because first you have to convince them to come, and this is a tricky question. When I asked people to our IDEC, I told them, I promise you that you won't regret if you take this barrier, if you pay this ticket and you attend this IDEC, if you donate this time, I promise you, you will be happy. And it was true. Everybody were happy after it. Everybody are happy after IDEX. So if you do a similar event local, it can be called other way. Like we called it educational experiment, and mostly participants were local, but it was wonderful. And I wasn't a leader of this team. I was joined to the existing team. And this team, these people are my friends for long years already, after all. And this is a big bonus you got from organizing something. These people will be your friends forever because you've done with them very interesting and pretty hard work together. So first, give more time to open space and trust your participants. Next one is location. If this event is online, then you don't have this problem. But if the event is offline, then you have responsibility. You've paid money and you have to somehow turn it back. So you choose a location where you don't have an exact amount of participants you have to reach. For example, in our location, we had to reach only 380 people. We had to attract 380 people. And this is one more thing. Democratic education, in democratic education, people are very last moment people. So when it was a month before the event, and we had only 100, we couldn't sleep, we couldn't eat. We were so scared. But in the end, we ended with 500 people. And it was big relief. But it took us so many nerves. So when you choose a location, try to choose one when you don't have this point. You will attract a lot of participants, it will be fine, but you will save your nerves. If it's only tents, and if there come 100, it will be 100 of happy people. It's huge. If there will come 1,000, great. It's almost the same huge as 100 actually. Happy people, when it's 3, it's already huge. So now I'm in a Summerhill Festival of Childhood. And we spent a lot of times in Zoom meetings, and this team is it's very interesting to work there because the team is very well organized. And you know, I would skip like a half of this process of organizing, but they do it and it works perfectly. I learn a lot from the overview team. They are doing great job. International team, we really hope that some of you can want to join us, but only if you want it very much, because it's like with a school, think twice before you start something like this. It will make your life brighter for sure. You will learn a lot, you will get an inspiration, but you will be tired, happily tired. If you love this kind of condition, happily tired, then for sure you should be organizer of some educational events. So this is probably the main thing. I'm now working in a promo team. We are creating all the materials that you can see in our social media, all the videos. We are brainstorming how it could be fun to show something to people, to promote democratic education. And you know, the idea of festival, I loved it because they said it's not about democratic education, it's about childhood in general, that it is an important time of life. And I said, actually democratic education is about childhood. It is about that these 10 years of school is a huge piece of your life and the sweetest one. So be happy in it, eat it from the beginning to the end. Don't skip it. Don't waste it to get ready to some adult life. Nobody knows what happens in this adult life. It's a task with too many unknown, um, you know, factors that could change everything in one day. So just be happy in the moment. And that's why I joined the team, because I found that I thought that this idea is something that touches my heart a lot. And I want people to know about it. Well, and Seth is also in a team, and she will also talk about it. Seth, do you want to add something to my words? Oh, you're
Just
muted.
unmute myself. Yes. I mean, your infectious delight in the whole process is wonderful. But I agree, it's a very interesting team to be part of. And I think that we want to sort of take the opportunity while we're all together here at IDEC to encourage people to be part of it as much as you can be. And we've got different ways that you can do that. And I'm going to do a workshop on Tuesday night to talk about some of the international connections that we can make to spread the word and to spread all the work that Katerina is doing. Their team is doing amazing stuff, and we need to get that out to as many people as possible. Yeah, I mean, Chris and I have been, Chris is sort of my co-leader for that team as well. And so this is our third big event that we've been involved in organizing. So we know what you're talking about when you're describing what is part of the process. We hosted IDEC in Sydney in 2006, and then last year we hosted the IDEC conference. And both of those events took tremendous energy and time, but they were worth every moment, really. I hope I've got the energy to keep going with the Summerhill one. It's a pretty big, intense expectation, I think, for all of us, really. Well, I feel very emotional about doing this connected with Summerhill, because it's been such a significant part of our lives and the whole democratic process. And I really would love to honor their 100 years in the best way that we can, really. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Sess. We haven't met with Chris in any meetings before, and it's so cool to meet here. Finally, now I all the puzzle is done, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's good.
Okay, so
Good.
you know what I wanted to say that this year we held the online event. It was much more simple than, well, guys on IDEC, Veda and other organizers are doing great job, and we did it much more simple, and we did it very fast. When lockdown started, we wanted to support the parents who stayed at home with their kids. We wanted to tell them that, guys, it's not a catastrophe. It's a great opportunity, and you're going to love this time if you spend it smartly. If you spend it with love and care, not in, oh my God, we have to study every day like 8 hours. So we wanted to tell them, like, we are homeschoolers and alternative educators for long years, and we just started the festival in like 3 days. We just contacted all the uh, educational communities we know in our country and said, guys, just share that we are going to have talk with Jerry Mintz. And Jerry said, okay, I can talk. And in 3 days we had an event. And then we asked Yakov, we asked Henry, we asked local speakers, and in the end we talked ourselves. So and we attracted 45,000 participants compared to local event with 500. It was huge, and we didn't do it wasn't that time consuming as offline, but I have to say that I miss offline. I love the
Yeah.
online, but I want next year lockdown to be stopped, and I want a big offline event. I want to hug people, I want to dance with them. No, in real real world, not through the Zoom. And
Yeah.
I really hope that Summerhill Festival of Childhood will happen offline. And but we are now working on some plan B. If something, if nothing changes, who knows? Nobody knows what's going to happen next August, but we really hope that it will be possible to come everybody to go to England. I already started to collect money for it, for my tickets and visas, for me and my kids. But so I hope actively, that it will happen, because in on offline events you catch something, some magic happens also, that is unfortunately can't happen in Zoom. But I now feel a big piece of this magic here, and just a little bit that offline gives us. And my father, he used to go to probably every mountain in Soviet Union that he could reach. And when I told him that next IDEC will be in Nepal a year ago, he said, I'm going with you to the Nepal. For sure, I'm going with you. And I said, okay, we'll arrange tickets somehow. We'll do it, and I hope we will do it some of the times, not on IDEC or maybe a next IDEC on Nepal, but we will. Definitely. It's his dream, and I actually pluses to this dream, add pluses from myself. So and I'm sure that a lot of people agree with me that they want to go to Nepal some of the days. So Veda, get ready to organize another event when it will be possible. Well, it's not now a good time to offer you this. We will speak in a month after IDEC, okay? When you'll be when you'll sleep well.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe you have any questions, because I think I've already said what I wanted to say, and we are ready for a discussion and questions here. Oh no, Christine, you're now muted.
Thank you very much for your talk and your inspiration. And I hope, yes, that we can meet at Summerhill. I have another Zoom meeting for my school in Nepal. So I will leave you now, and thank you very much. And Cess, I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. It was very nice.
Okay, it was really good. I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for joining it. Veda, probably we are going to finish now because I've basically said what I wanted to say because 2 hours of, oh no, we have question from Adria. Andrea, say please.
Was also in the chat that some people posted that we would like to ask you, how do you balance it all? Because a school takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. Then you have the other projects with the conferences and the work and the family. And for me, when I think about maybe joining the next project or something, it's really, that's the tricky part. How do I do it so that I don't burn out? So that's the question.
I think I've divided my days and it helps me a lot. Like I told the school team that these 3 days I'm totally unavailable. I'll do everything in 3 days that I'm in school. I'll help wherever I can. And I arranged my working days like I start working at 11 o'clock, not at 9, and I finish at 6. So I have a morning. And actually these mornings happen to be the most effective time of my day. So probably you have to feel what is the most effective time of your day and leave it for your projects. And if you have job for money, you say, guys, I can work for you from this to this, and I'll do my best at this time. I'll be concentrated, I'll be effective. But as soon as I turned off my working area, I'm in the other world. So don't expect that I'll be supportive. So, and that's work for me. What else? For example, in Summerhill Festival of Childhood, I can be involved in lots of different processes, but I see that I can do with a high level of quality only this. So then I say, guys, I'll take this part and I'll handle it, but I won't take more. So this is very important because with my first event, I have taken everything. I see the task and nobody is taking it. Nobody is ready to help. I said, I will, and it was a disaster in the end because I took too much. And now I already know how much I can care, in my bag pack. So just if you start some event, some project, just be sure how many tasks you can handle, take it, and then just stay with these tasks and do it with a level of quality that you will be happy about. And in this team, it's a very supportive team. Of course, it's a team of volunteers, and some people take tasks and then don't do them and then say, guys, I can't, my life changed and I can't do it anymore, and it's fine. They have this freedom. But there are other people, and our promo team is one guy from California, lady from Britain, some guys from post-Soviet community, a Brazil lady, and from all over the world. It's very hard to find time to meet because time zones are so different, and we use a magic tool called When to Meet, where everybody point when they available, and then you see like an hour in all week where everybody are available. Yay! It's a very good tool I've learned from this team. I see the questions about Summerhill Festival. Yes, it will be next August from 6th to 11th. And tickets are not selling. We are not selling tickets yet because we have to settle all the details. But now we're thinking of doing it as available as possible, like with basically most of IDECs and EUDECs are with accommodation and food included. And some of the times I would prefer to eat something I brought from home and to pay less. So probably there will be different options. Then you can buy ticket only to a program and you can stay in your tent and you can eat whatever you want. We want to eat grass, eat it, but you want to cook for yourself, do it. So for people who can't arrange the ticket with accommodation and food and all the options, there will be an option to save money and to anyhow be there. There is a question how to become a volunteer. We have the form, Google form, that you can complete, and you can say what you prefer to do, how much time you are ready to donate. You leave your contacts details, and then you choose which team you will be involved to. Like we are promo team, Cecilia and Chris are in international connection team. There is a logistic, bookings, customer care, all the teams are beautiful and wonderful people are there. So it's a very good filter. People who volunteer for educational event. These are good people, so nice people to spend time with. Should I give the link to this form to this chat, or Veda? How do you think?
Yeah, sure. You can just put the link here right now, so it's better.
Okay. I will. I just need a pause. Maybe we will finish our talk, and then I will just don't turn off the meeting because I need some couple minutes to find it. Or maybe Cecilia, maybe you can help me to find this form. It's in our on Centenary website. We have link to it. We have the website and the link to it. The site I can find very easily and fast. Here it is. Just a second. Here is a website and it's actually a very interesting website where you can do your own project, and you can join as a friend of Summerhill. No, it's a privately.
It's a 100 years of Summerhill, is that?
It is. I've sent to the chat, and there you find the link to fill in the form and to become a volunteer. Here is the page because the celebration of 100 years of Summerhill is not only the festival. They have also event for school graduates, and this is the page of the festival, and on that page you can become a volunteer. You can find a form to fill in, and you can find a Facebook group where our volunteers are talking, but mostly we deal in Slack. We communicate in Slack. So join us. And what I wanted to finalize my talk is think twice. If you have interesting projects around in your neighborhood, I actually want a lot of schools to appear in all the world. More democratic school is better. But if you already have nice school around, democratic or alternative schools that you like, think twice before you start your own project. But if you start it, you probably won't regret it too much. You will be happy, but you will be tired. And but the events is like a short run, 100 meters, and it's ended. Event happened, and you are free. And schools is marathons. You have to run very long time. So it's different sports. So choose which one you prefer, or both. Thomas, you wanted to say something?
Again, I just want to repeat how perfect this has been for me, for what you've presented and the people who are here. It's been absolutely perfect for where I'm at in life, and for the flow of life that most appeals to me. So the online form for volunteering, that's exactly what I needed. And I'm just trusting that there is a flow, and if we just step one step at a time into it, that there are perfections beyond predictions awaiting. So I'm happy to be stepping here, to even just listen to you and to be at IDEC, and let's see where it goes. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us at 3 o'clock in the night, deep night. And, I guess if it's your first IDEC, so you haven't attended offline IDECs, you know what Marco Koskinen said about IDECs, that it's like a homecoming every year. So just stay in a community of people that you respect, that you trust, that you don't need to fight for your position, telling everybody that it's worth to try. It's really something important. Everybody here understands it, and it's a big relief.
And I can respond, and I really appreciate the conversation here and everyone being here, especially you, Katerina. But I want to kind of celebrate. I'm a cheerleader for Sudbury model. That's where I spent my time with democratic education. And I start to feel that it's kind of a radical celebration of freedom for the young citizens. I also was lucky enough to go to Burning Man 5 years in a row, if people are aware of Burning Man. And as I'm listening to the celebrations here about democratic education, there's very strong similarity between what is most important about the success of Burning Man and what is most important about the success of democratic education. It is a celebration of freedom and self-leadership and the self-selection of people towards what they find most interesting. And to have that be a rare, such a rare, amazingly rare experience in life is to be given the space to say your choices are most important. So choose or not choose. It's all perfect.
That's very interesting that you compared Sudbury schools with Burning Man. It's my dream to get there, but it's too far and too
Well,
expensive.
and both of them take a lot of, I'm interrupting, go ahead, sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Both of them take a lot of rules. The key is that the rules are not so much in Burning Man because there's a leadership team, but the rules in Sudbury model, it's a thick book, thicker than traditional schools, but every item in the rule book is easily adjusted by the weekly business meeting of everybody in the school, young and not young. And it's just an immediate experience of democracy as adults. It's a perfect training ground for young people to understand what adults in democratic societies have taken on to make things work well. And Burning Man's got a lot of the same. We got theme camps in Burning Man, right? Like individual little communities, and the theme camps have to figure out how to work together. And people are welcome to join or not join. So it's a big celebration, and I find myself any chance I get kind of cheerleading for democratic education and trying to help people understand that what they think is for the best in our traditional mass-oriented schools is actually so harmful to the young people. Even those who think that they're doing great with straight A grades, it's still so harmful to become so obedient and not have your own involvement in choosing. So I'm smiling to be here, and thank you all so much.
To say the truth, it was my aim today. I have to say that I have, well, my friend, he's now in 9th grade, and he's a son of my best friend from early childhood. And he now switched the not democratic school, but very close to democratic alternative school, to a very strict special school with a lot of computer science, mathematics, physics, and he did it himself. It was his decision, and he's absolutely happy working like 8 hours in school and then 6 hours at home on his well homeworks. And I was so surprised, but I strongly believe him that he likes it better. And it surprised me a lot. But last month, my smaller kid, she's 7, and she said, I never tried a regular school. Give me an opportunity to try. And I was terrified. I said, oh my God, we're having such a nice community. We're having fun, but it is your decision and I have to somehow arrange it. And I wanted so much to let her go to the worst school ever that I know, but I actually did the opposite. I let her go to the school I graduated from. So now it's not that much democratic as it was in the beginning, because they are legal school in Ukraine. They are under pressure of the government very much, and they have to do all the lessons, all the journals, all these papers, and that's why they just can't be that democratic. And I asked them to let her in for a week. And first she came to me and said, there is a bell ringing every lesson. I like it. I said, oh my God. Then she said, we are writing a lot. We have homeworks. I like it. I said, oh my God, that's what we were running from. And in the end of the week, she said, I'm so tired and I don't have time for myself. I don't want to do it anymore. And I think that it's just a week and she needed time to get used to it. And she came to the most loving teacher ever. Probably a lot of you know him. It's Yaroslav Devdera, who is EUDEC consul now. And he's the best teacher ever. And I wanted so much her to be friends with him. And for now, she's still thinking. She's in a doubt where to go, to stay in our school, very democratic school, or to go to a little bit more strict school with all the lessons and homeworks. And I'm fine with it, actually. But first week I was so stressed. And some kids, they just need more ordered system. They feel safer in it. I don't know why, and I don't think that I have to dive deeply into it, because she should dive deeply into what she feels. And the biggest success of our school is that she can dive deeply. She's 7 years old and she can analyze what is happening in her heart, in her mind, with her body. So, and this is probably the biggest, and she can talk about it. And she can come to me and say, I want to try, even though she knew I will be terrified. She's not afraid of trying something different. And this is a big success of democratic education.
And it's amazing for a 7-year-old to be able to do that. And it just says a lot about her few years in that freedom of democratic school.
She spent 3 years in democratic school. She's in democratic school since she was 4. And she, you know what, when she talked, I was listening and writing. And I even posted it, she let me post it on Facebook to show other people what is happening. And that proves that we don't do any commercial to our school, like go everybody to democratic school. Even me, I agree that it's not for everybody. It's just you have to feel that it's yours. And she told me very interesting things. Like, first I was terrified and I was even crying, but we were wearing masks because it's quarantine. And then when it was time to put mask off, I didn't want everybody to see me crying. And I didn't want them to think that they're not good people and I'm afraid of them. So I thought first, and she said, like pointed it, so like, first, if mom trusts these people a lot, they are maybe not that bad. I was laughing a lot about this one. And then she said, I'm now alone here. And when I'm alone, I have to concentrate. I have to take care of the situation by myself. It's a responsibility. So I have to stay concentrated, stay strong. I said, wow, that's very interesting, you know, how she describes what she felt, what she thought. And then she said, the third one that helped me stop crying is that it is not forever. It's only till lunch. I said, okay. So
That is so amazing. And there's so many adults in the world today who are unable to do what she did,
yes, to
talking and
change.
working through it herself.
Yes, to analyze what is happening with you and to be so strong and brave to change your life totally, because it's different world, different schools is different world for a kid. So she was brave enough to change, and I actually I'm so inspired of her braveness, and that she can look inside herself and make some conclusions, because I'm not able to do it some of the times still, and she is.
It says so much about your progress and what you offered to your family through all your experience. Well done.
Thank you. I think the main thing about our family is that these 4 years was years of happiness, and in the end I want to tell you the story that probably some of you know, but in our school we had the most terrible situation that probably could happen to a school, because we first year we were rented a small apartment for our school, and it was too small for us, and we started building a house, and we've built here. Uh, it took all our money, it took all our time, it was so exhausting, you know. And after a month we entered it was amazing house, and we entered it, and in a month there was something wrong with the heating equipment, and it burned to ashes. We had nothing at all, and the smartest decision at that point would be selling the piece of the ground where we built it, and at least take back something. But we were silly enough to say we will rebuild it. And our main thought was, you know, if we say okay, that's it, it will be a case when something terrible happens to you and you can't do anything. And we wanted to show our kids the opposite case, that uh, never give up works actually. uh, and then it was a year when we organized IDEC, and I was organizing IDEC, and we were rebuilding the school from fire after fire. It took us a year of very hard, terribly hard work. We did it by our own hands mainly. We collected money from wherever we could. We asked people to help us, and people from all over the world, all alternative and democratic education community helped us. People who attended IDEC and UDEC helped us. People from Ukraine, even though some of them earn very few money for months, they donated to our school. Somebody came and helped us by hands, you know, spend their weekends with us. And now we have rebuilt it. And since spring, we have a new house, and it's marvelous. It's amazing house. And we do workshops there. We do yoga there. We have 4 days of school. Our school works for 4 days a week, and one day we have creative workshops, and 2 days we offer other people to do events in our house, people we trust and love. And I think it's a miracle of democratic education community when something terrible happens, because when I found out that our house burned to ashes, I thought I'm gonna die because even my heart beated so much that I really thought that something terrible is going to happen with my health. But it and I was so I can't even describe. I almost cry every time I talk about it. But after we entered the new house, it healed me. You know, it um, it felt like uh, I have me back because something I was broken when our house was burned, and now I'm fine again. And this huge amount of love that we that came from all over the world is the biggest loving experience in my life at all. And for kids it's the same. They have seen this miracle and they know now that you can stand even when wind is very, very strong. You can keep going, keep standing. And it was burned on 11th of February, and on 14th of February is Valentine's Day. We don't celebrate it usually in our country. It's not that much common, but people from all over Ukraine sent us letters because one of our moms offered them to do it. And she brought us that big box of letters supporting us. And we cried probably a couple hours reading it. And we understand at that point that there is no way back. We just have to do this project. We have to rebuild it from the beginning. And when IDEC happened, we offered people from IDEC from different countries to help us to paint the walls. And our friend, she's an artist, she painted big, huge flowers and cats and whatever on our school. I'll send you now the link to our page on Facebook, and you'll see the house, how it looks now, the house of our crazy school. And that's why we are crazy. Just a second. And these walls made by IDEC community. Last year IDEC. Look at it. To everyone, yes, here it is. If you enter the page, the main picture is our house, and it looks really fun. And we have Jerry's words there and Marco's, and well, a lot of people came and helped us. And the funny thing about it is that people around in the neighborhood, they think that we have some kind of church. They don't believe that it's a democratic school. Okay. So that's probably it. I have told a lot of stories today. Thank you very much, Veda, for giving me an opportunity to talk. I was happy to be a speaker. Thank you guys for listening, for joining it.
Thank you, Katerina, so much for joining us. It was wonderful, lovely, and a lot of insights, especially about how you built your own school, you know, and also how to organize an event, a large-scale event. That's really wonderful. We need that in 2022, and also for Summerhill and so on. Those who want to participate in organizing such events, I think they have to have these things in the back of their mind before venturing into such thing. Yes. Thank you so much, and hope to see you in Nepal after Summerhill in 2022.
I hope so too. I hope to see you in England.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Thanks, Katerina.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Love you a lot.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. We have another workshop coming up, and then we have like 4 keynotes coming up this evening after an hour. So see you again. Take some break for a few minutes and see you in a while. For those of you who are coming. Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you.